Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs. Lend a hand in the strong and capable Silverado, or mix it up in a high-tech Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Find family, friends, and fun in the Chevy that's right for you. Click to learn more. Chevrolet, together let's drive. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hey, it's Kim Komando today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Here's something that I thought I would never say. A hacker in Oklahoma.
Oh.
I mean, you don't think of like a hacker in Oklahoma.
Like other countries, global hackers.
Yes, exactly.
Not someone who says y'all after they've been excited that they got into the mainframe.
I'm in the mainframe, y'all.
His name is Evan James Coker, and he hacked a government auction website. And so where they were like auctioning off like surplus stuff and things that they repossessed and whatever. So he got a 2010 Ford Escape Hybrid, a Chevy C4500 box truck.
Yeah, it's like a delivery truck.
Sure.
Yeah. And he went to pay.gov in order to pay for all these things.
Right.
And then when he did, he configured it so that he only would have to pay $1.
And he thought he wouldn't get caught? At least spend like $1,000 or something.
He thought maybe they won't notice.
Well, it is the
But they
government.
noticed, yeah,
It is the
right.
government. I wouldn't.
Yes. So he got $150,000 worth of goods for like $5.
And so then they caught him and they took everything away?
Yeah. And now he's like probably on his way to jail.
Aww.
And when he comes back, he's going to be Oklahoma homeless.
Do you pick the jokes to match the stories
That's a
or
good
the other way
question.
around?
No, actually, you know what? I come up with these stories and I'm like, oh, this would be really funny. Instead of Oklahoma, it would be Oklahomeless.
It was a good one. I like
They come
it.
to her like that. It's amazing.
It is. It's just, it's so annoying to be so funny all the time.
So much work.
And on that happy note, welcome. I'm Kim Komando. It is a lot of work. And joining me today on Kim Komando today, we have, of course, Andrew Babinski. And Andrew, what are you going to be talking about?
Google is under some hot fire for being too woke.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
I'm sure you're going to be surprised to hear that Google is woke.
You know, I can't wait.
But people
for
have the
news.
receipts. People have the receipts this time.
Excellent. Excellent. And then, of course, we have our amazing content queen, Allie Seligman is here. And Allie, what are you going to be sharing with us?
I'm talking about space today. I have
Outer?
a few. Yes, outer. Thank you for even deep.
Deep outer
Deep
space?
and outer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
this is some big
Got some
stuff.
good
This is my favorite kind of space.
So normally I ask Andrew to give the pitch on why people should share.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Share the podcast?
Yeah. Why should they share the video podcast, the audio podcast? Why should they be sharing this?
Well, listen, if you're watching it, clearly you like it. You like something about it. Presumably the people in your life might also like things that you like. And don't we all want to be that person who recommends the thing that our friend is like, oh my gosh, thank you for telling me about these really comfortable and ugly shoes, Andrew.
Yes.
I love
Wait
them.
a minute.
Wait, how did it turn into that? No, but really, if you enjoy it, I bet somebody in your life will. And they're going to be smart too. And plus, isn't it fun to have somebody to talk to about the thing you like?
Yeah, did you see the show today? Did you watch the show today?
Exactly.
Did you see that part where
Fantastic.
Kim slapped Andrew?
Insane.
We're getting
Can you
there.
believe it?
We're definitely getting there.
And you can watch us anywhere.
Yes.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, as well as you can get the podcasts, for example, on Apple or Spotify, which is actually the way to get the Kim Komando Show podcast. And I did hear from the guy who is our Spotify subscriber.
The one guy?
Yes, I'm going to read his email tomorrow. He's
good.
funny. He's funny.
That's a tease right there.
He's a great guy. He really is. Okay, so I'm going to get started with 5 things that you need to know. It's happening about tech right now. And Ian sent me a text about 3:30 this morning. And every time you get a text in the middle of the night, you're like,
Uh-oh.
what is this? So he texted me to tell me that if I wanted to call him, that his cell phone was down. Because he
fell victim.
He was part of that whole outage with AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile throughout the country.
What was it, 60 million users? 60 million cell phones?
I don't know. I don't know what the exact number is
Wow.
today. Last time I heard it was 70,000, then it was 80,000. I didn't hear it was 6 million.
I thought I read 60 million people were affected by it.
Did you have a way to fact check him?
I've got a cell phone
Okay.
that does seem
I
to
read
have service.
fast, so
That seemed really high to me.
You two discuss.
So it's people all across the country. LA, Atlanta, a lot of cities in the South and also the Southeast. And that means that when the cell phone goes down, guess what else goes down? Your hotspots.
yeah, of course.
Exactly. And this all comes at a time when AT&T says we're getting out of the landline business.
Not so fast.
So as I was texting Ian, I said, here's what you need to do. If something happens, you can text 911 because he's on Wi-Fi, or you can turn on data roaming. It's going to cost you some money. Or you can always get a disposable phone if you're like Freaky Friday about all this stuff. Because even though the phone doesn't have a carrier, it must always be able to call 911.
Right.
So instead of getting AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile, you might want to get somebody else.
Did you fact check me?
73,000 is what I saw. So you're insane.
Maybe of possible 60 million people.
Sure, Andrew.
If it really got bad.
If it got so bad, 60 million.
So we're talking about this at work. My other job, I host a morning show here in Phoenix on iHeartRadio, and someone comes into the break room and they're like, "They're doing it." I'm like, "What?"
They're
He's
doing
like,
it, y'all.
Get your bunker ready. They're doing it. This is the
Terrorists are
first
coming in.
test.
Yes.
And I was like, "Wow, I didn't even connect." 60 million to 70,000 to 60 million
It's the
people are
same
without
amount.
phones, and
The way they talk about it might as well be 60
I didn't
million.
even connect it to a terrorist attack, but immediately people went there.
Exactly.
And my program director, he's like, his wife came to him, "Do you think it's the Russians?" I'm like, why does not my mind go to tragedy at all times?
And then so they say it now could be the solar flare.
Okay.
Okay, which they said, not so much. And then there was another report that's like they were trying to update the SIM cards.
Okay.
Okay. They're always going to say it's a glitch.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
not a hack.
We're never
No.
going to find out what it really was.
Not at all. Cyber criminals are now using genuine logins stolen from stolen people. So like up until now, like hackers, if they want to get in somewhere, they would like hack into a network. But now they're like, that's just too much work. So what they're going to do is like social engineering to get your username and password so that this way they can get into it.
Then they'll be less easily detected if they're using a genuine
Yeah,
login.
if it's Andrew.
Yes, and speaking of getting hacked, a big health company just got hacked. I just was reading about it before I came down. And so one of them is affected is United Healthcare. And they say 1 out of 3 patients might be having trouble getting their prescriptions filled
Oh my gosh.
because of some big hack that happened on this company. So
Probably 60 million people. affected
maybe
by
that's
it.
where the 60 million
That
came
makes
from.
sense.
That was it. This actually happened to me. And now they're saying like it's really a major problem. I don't know if you remember, but back in November, I had a good friend of mine, fabulous cancer doctor, researcher, Dr. Taniguchi. And he gave a great speech and then he walked off the stage and just passed out and then passed away, even though he had a room of like, a couple hundred doctors. Couldn't revive him. Oh. And so when I went to find out information about the funeral and like where I could make a donation or what have you, is that I ended up on YouTube with these people reading his obituary just to get money.
These videos are insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. And so now it's happening on Facebook big time. And Facebook says, we're trying to make it stop, but we can't.
But what's the problem?
It's so hard.
Honestly, though, what is the problem with it? If someone's just reading something on the internet and people are watching it, what's the issue?
It's a waste of time.
I'd love to have this fight with you. It's also intrusive. Imagine if someone in your life passed away and then some random dude is reading about them to make money. That feels bad.
Where'd the obituary come from? It came from a published article or something put on the internet.
The person reading the article is like somewhere in like India.
Don't watch. Oh, we are definitely
here's
on different sides of the fence on this.
Here's the other one. Sometimes people do make fake
Okay.
GoFundMes, whatever
true.
else,
That is
and they
true.
promote them through these videos.
That is true.
That's a different argument, though.
I still think it's scummy.
I think it's scummy too.
I think
2 against 1.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we've won. Bye.
This is a democracy.
Okay.
You guys are right. It's a bad idea. It's
Can we
awful.
cut his mic again?
I think we should. We did it on purpose. That was a good call. Shh, Allie, we're not supposed to say that out loud. Apple just did something really nice. They pushed down a firmware update, and with the iOS update rather, and that they doubled the capacity of your battery if you have a brand new iPhone 15.
One of this has to do with any of the lawsuits that they were.
No,
I shouldn't even bring that up. Oh, okay.
No,
I don't think so. I think they were just being kind and
Generous.
gentle.
If they can just double the capacity of the battery on an update,
There it is.
why don't they just do it from the beginning? And if they can double it, can they reduce it?
Of course they can.
Course. This is like the Tesla where you can pay extra to get more battery. Like it's there. It's there for
It's just
everybody.
sitting
You
there
just have to
waiting.
pay for
Okay,
it.
don't even get me started on
No,
Tesla.
I know. I shouldn't have said it.
I
I'm sorry.
wasted like 20 grand buying a Tesla. Okay. And a lot of my life in being invested.
And you were excited for it, weren't you?
I was super excited for it.
Wonk, wonk.
I know it was a bad thing. And finally, this: how long do you think, if you swallowed an AirPod, that it would last in your stomach before it just broke?
I'm trying. Oh, it would be broken.
As someone who doesn't use AirPods, how long do they normally stay charged?
Pretty
You're
long.
worried about the charge?
Well,
And
is
not-
that what we mean? The charge or like
She's saying it's going to break. Your
Okay.
digestive system is going to break it down.
3 days?
I'm going to go 18 hours.
We don't really know.
Oh, well, great question.
Cool, thanks, Kim. Can we cut her mic?
I have a question. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I just want to see if you guys can fall for that. That's all.
75 bundles.
It's like, how do we test for that? Okay. There's a woman, her name is Mo Kennedy, and she was sleeping with her AirPods in, and she swallowed it.
This happens too often, and I
It
sleep with
does.
AirPods every single night.
And it was in her stomach for 9 hours before she had to go have surgery to have it taken out.
And it was still working.
It was still working.
Yeah.
And she could hear the
incredible.
music and the phone calls and everything.
Hold on. Just give me a second.
Hey, Siri.
I don't know how people do this. I can barely take my fish oil pills, and people are
While they're sleeping.
yes, it's crazy.
Swallowing electronics.
Madness.
Same thing happened to me in my Apple Watch. Right down the gullet while I was sleeping.
Really?
No.
I know.
That was that noise earlier that we heard.
No,
It
he was.
wasn't a fart.
That was a
It
fart.
wasn't a fart. I was suppressing a burp.
Okay.
I'll take this to the grave.
You know what? We're trying to keep this podcast classy.
When?
Tomorrow, no fart talk.
All right. So we're going to talk about space. Oh, I have a story about a drone. Unbelievable. Unbelievable drone
Cool.
that you and I can buy. Well, we're not going to buy it because it's super expensive, but we could.
Who's the I and the you and I? You're the I. I'm definitely not the you.
Kim
If
could buy
you think
it.
it's this expensive,
Yes.
you could buy everybody one. How about that?
She'll consider it.
This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row, all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults. With 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute and available lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
All right, it's Kim Commando today. It's your Daily Fun podcast about all things digital, and Allie is joining us today along with Andrew. We are encouraging you. We want you to share out this podcast with just at least one person. Just one person. That's it.
Easy.
That's it. And if you are watching us do the podcast, we totally love that. But if you want to be on the go and you want to take us with you, is that you can always get Kim Commando Today as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And now we are giving away a $1,000 laptop in about a week or so.
Time is running out.
Exactly. And so winfromkim.com, that's our new address, winfromkim.com. I'm still surprised that we have less entries, considerably less entries on a $1,000 laptop versus a $1,000 phone.
It's the same value.
I agree.
I guess it's hype around a new phone, maybe.
Maybe that's it.
There was hype, yeah.
And people are always changing out their phones. When you change out your laptop,
Yeah.
it's free. It's $1,000 free
It's free.
laptop.
You could go
Switching
sell it.
laptops is
Yeah.
not that
You can
hard.
go sell it.
You could give it to me. There's so many things you could do with it.
I could sign the laptop
Whoa.
Yes.
and then it would be even added value.
it would be a collector's item then.
Of course.
One of one.
Exactly. So again, you want to enter to win at winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. All right. So what do you got, Andrew?
There's the internet is upset. I don't know if you guys know that it's
Wait,
happens.
again?
It happens a couple of times a year.
Sure.
The internet gets upset because someone went on Google's AI. What's it called again?
Gemini.
Gemini. and asked for an image of the founding fathers.
Okay.
And here was the result.
You have to describe it for our...
It's not the founding fathers like you would know. It was an African-American gentleman and a bunch of white people. So once this person posted on social media, everybody else went and seen what prompts they could put in to get image results. They asked for pictures of the Pope. There was a Middle Eastern woman and an African-American man. We all know there's never been a non-white Pope. They asked for pictures from the NHL. And there's a female hockey player not wearing a helmet for some reason.
Oh, bad idea.
And then two male hockey players who are both wearing helmets. And it looks like his hand is inside of her chest cavity. So we're not
AI's not great.
We're going to go in. And then someone asked just for a simple picture of George Washington. And it's Hamilton's version of George Washington,
Oh,
an
really?
African-American man with white hair. So people were doing this all over social media, especially on Twitter, and accusing Google of being woke when it comes to the content that their AI is spitting out. Basically saying that Google, instead of being accurate, rather be diverse. Tons of pictures of the founding fathers. One group, it was just women. Someone asked for the prompt, a picture of the founding fathers sitting around a table, and it was a group of 6 women.
I'm kind of into that. That probably would have been good.
But it's not
that
how
would
it
have been great, too.
happened.
Oh, sorry.
So Google responded and they said, we understand why you're upset and we are shutting down the human image generation, just
Okay.
humans,
All right.
until we get this fixed. Now, we've argued about this all the time, that you guys are worried this is the AI that's going to end us all. This AI is the AI that's going to kill everyone.
You know
No.
that Indian woman Pope.
Exactly.
You remember her?
No, what it is that you have people at Google that are putting their thoughts, their beliefs, their whatever they want, they're putting that into the algorithm. It's just like when I asked for a Bible verse from then Google Bard, which is now Gemini, and Google came back and said, "We're sorry, I can't give you a Bible verse."
It said it's can't?
Yes.
Copyright.
A copyright
did.
infringement on the Bible?
Yes.
Yes, it said that it
No
was
kidding.
a copyright, and that also it didn't want to get into. I don't know if you remember this, Al. Didn't want to get into controversial topics.
Yep.
But you're just asking for you're not asking for opinion about the Bible. You're just asking for a Bible verse.
Hey, Bard, what you think of the Bible?
I asked basically. Well, the question was that I was writing about the Charlie Brown Christmas special. You know, where Linus comes out with his blanket and he says, "Oh, Charlie Brown, let me tell you the real." So I was like, "Okay, what Bible verse was that?" So I asked Bard.
So this was even just a trivia question, basically. You weren't even looking for an opinion
No.
or an article. You were just asking it for a trivia question.
Said, "So nope, we're not going to give it to you." So then I went over to ChatGPT and it gave it to me right away. Then I went over to Perplexity, it gave it to me right away. I went over to Microsoft Copilot, gave it to me right away. So I went back to Bard, I asked it again. And I said, you know, and it said, gave me the same topic, the same answer rather, that it was controversial, the Bible is copywritten, and we don't want to infringe on anybody's works and blah, blah, blah,
I
blah.
wish you would have asked for an excerpt from like Moby Dick or something to see if it would give you the same
I'm sure it
explanation
would
on
have.
the copyright.
I'm sure it would have.
But that's a classical piece of work. That's not a controversial book.
Have you
Now,
read
is
Moby
this
Dick?
And is this going to hurt Google in the long run where they are mixing artificial intelligence with political ideologies?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, because you're going to get people like me that went, WTF? I mean, you know, what is this? I mean, why can't you tell me who this is? And you're telling me that the Bible is a controversial topic? I mean,
And it's a consumer-based product, and the consumers will, if they're not finding even historical accuracies, they're going to move away from that platform.
although I do like the idea of all women founding fathers.
It didn't happen. I'm sure it would have been great. Didn't happen.
We all would have synced up. You know?
No. World War I would have been much earlier.
Oh,
Please. I can't.
do we
even.
need him? I'm just wondering. Do we need
Wayne,
him?
could we cut his mic?
I need a mic. No one can hear me then.
Oh my gosh! All right, so coming right back, we're going to talk about deep space.
Space, all space, even an eclipse.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, it's Kim Komando today, and we love that you're here. And we want to hear your comments because, after all, I mean, it's not just us having fun every single day, right?
And we've had some great comments this week.
Yes.
Legitimately, they are getting better. You're going to have to start topping each other because the ones that we're choosing to put on the air are the cream of the crop.
Although I don't know if you had to say yesterday that I think her name was Marianne burst her cherry.
I said I didn't. You don't have to remind people that I said
Yikes.
that.
Yeah, you shouldn't use that phrase
When
anymore.
she posted her first comment ever on YouTube.
Marianne, I sincerely apologize.
Yes, I agree with what she said.
So
See, women founding
Maddie is now collecting the comments. And so if you have something that you'd like to share with us, even if you have an opinion about Andrew's incredibly ugly shoes.
I got 3 new pairs coming. The new colors are going to blow you away
I still like people are defending you.
because they are so comfortable. I'm going to buy you a pair. What size shoe do you wear?
She would.
I would never wear them. Don't even waste your money.
You wouldn't even wear them to try them on?
What if
No.
there's a bet and you lose the bet and you have to wear the shoes?
That's going to be the next
Oh
thing
my
we
God.
bet
She
on.
has to wear them for what, like 3 days?
3
No,
days.
I'm not wearing
everywhere.
them. It'd be bad for my bunions.
These are bunion friendly, Kim.
You rather admit to having bunions than wear a pair of shoes.
I don't
Corns, her bunions.
I don't have bunions.
That's not what the edited sound clip that I put on social media is going to say.
If anything,
Let me tell you something.
those would be bad for bunions.
Yeah. I mean, look at these. These
Those
are nice boots.
Those are nice boots.
Yes, they are.
They're great shoes.
They are. All right. So save us, Al.
Space.
Yes.
There is a total solar eclipse coming in April. I was very excited for the partial solar eclipse, which was in October. I went all the way to Flagstaff for it, so I'm even more pumped for this one.
Was it worth it? Was it worth the trip to go to Flagstaff to see something you could have seen here?
I think it was.
Okay.
Partially, that's a really good point. And why does it matter where you are? There's a path, right? And so let's imagine for the total solar eclipse. So this is when essentially the moon covers the entire sun. And if you're on the path, it's right in the middle. So there's just a little glowing ring around it. Looks super cool. Wow, space. Who knew? If you're off the path, it still looks cool. It's just
Right.
kind of off center. So, but this is a thing, right? People get all excited about it, want to go travel along the path. If you look at maps, you can kind of see exactly where it goes. And there are cities.
And you have to wear those special glasses.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yes. We should give that warning multiple times. Don't look at the sun, even when it's an eclipse. You will mess up your eyes. It's not worth it. So yes, there are special glasses. We'll drop some links in the newsletter because there are like NASA approved
Wait,
special
now,
glasses.
before you leave glasses,
Yeah.
you got to tell a story.
I haven't said this on the show yet.
I don't know if you have.
What?
I have a family member. Remember that last solar eclipse? the big one?
2017.
Yes.
Yes. Where everyone was going to Jackson, I think.
I went to Casper, Wyoming.
Casper. Okay.
You traveled for it?
Yes,
Oh
it was
my
so
gosh.
cool.
You
So
know, I
cool.
grew up in Casper. And a family member of mine, they thought, wow, what if we found NASA approved glasses for people to look at an eclipse? They found the one product that was available, bought up all the inventory, put it on Amazon, and made a boatload of money. So much so, they bought multiple warehouses
Oh my
and they
gosh.
changed their entire lives. And now they are just Amazon fulfillers.
Wow.
Yes, and it's all because of that eclipse in
I think
2017.
that's a great story. I think Barry bought like 100 pairs.
Well, if he bought them in 2017, he bought them from my cousin because
Oh, wow.
they literally had the only one on Amazon
That's
that
amazing.
was NASA approved.
Okay, then that's the one that he got.
Yeah.
You should send me the link and we can put that in the newsletter.
Oh, definitely.
Because people would want to buy Andrew's cousin's glasses.
Of
Well,
course.
now everybody sells them because it was such a success. And, all the
still.
Amazon sellers watch the numbers
Oh, yeah, of
and
course.
whatever sells, they just buy a bunch of and start selling it themselves.
Yes.
We should probably do a deal with this guy. We can talk about this later, but we're just not going to
You
link
give us
to
a
it.
little, we'll give you a little.
She never lets any conversation not connect back to business.
That is true. Okay. So you can travel places, right? There's somewhere really good in Maine. It's all across the country. Or Delta has a little PR stunt that they're doing, which I think is actually pretty clever. They are flying a plane. It's going to take off from, let me double check, Austin. It's Delta Flight 1218, if you're looking. It takes off from Austin. It goes to Detroit. It's a special plane that has extra big windows, and it goes along the path of the eclipse so you can see it as it's going, like the best possible view.
What if I have an aisle seat?
No, they're really big windows.
Really big windows.
Okay, like
And
Yeah.
and then you just like push that person aside.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And also, this is going to be all people who want to see the eclipse. Like that, I feel bad for like the one guy from Austin who's trying to go to Detroit
He's
for
just,
work, and
I
he's
just have a conference. You people are driving me crazy.
he put the windows down. There, of course, this flight, probably by now it's all sold out. They do have a list of backup flights. They're still pretty good. If you don't want to do that, just go outside
I was
on
going to
April
say,
8th.
there's another spot I know to go. It's my driveway.
Your yard, yes. Take your glasses, though, and make sure you wear them. It's going to be really fun.
Well, I will tell you that when we went in 2017, I thought, like, oh man, it's gonna be like a major pain in the neck, and like, I mean, what do you do? Like, you just stand there and like you look up, and then you're like, okay, well that was great, and then you fly back, right? And so we put a whole bunch of people in the plane. Sorry, you guys were not invited. I thought we invited you.
Yeah, I missed that invitation.
We're invited for the one in April, though, right?
No, we already did this once. We're not going again. Okay, so we have to take off from Phoenix at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Because we got to get there, and we wanted to be like, they expected like 1,000 jets in Casper.
Did you land at Casper International Airport?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But it became like an event. They had like a band, and they had barbecues, and people were having a great old time. And then I'm like, me. Are we done yet? I mean,
I saw half the eclipse. That's
When's
enough.
this thing gonna do it?
Exactly.
Could you hurry up, Moon?
So then I see it, and it actually was amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like pleasantly surprised how cool it was, how wonderful it was to see
Kim
this.
Commando, nature lover.
Yes, and it was really something. And then as soon as it started to move, I looked at the captain of the plane. I said, there are 1,000 planes
want to be first.
I said, I want to be number one out of here. I'm not sitting here back in number 50.
She's leaving at the 7th inning, the 3rd quarter, partway through the...
Barry's in the hot dog line, and she's yelling at him to get over here.
So I think we were number 2 to take off.
All right.
Ooh,
Yeah. He did you good. He did you right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it could have been like, okay, here's the deal.
Well, and the thing that's so crazy about the full solar eclipse, that's when you go outside in the middle of the day and it looks like dusk or dawn.
Yes.
And back in the olden times, people were very freaked out by this. As you can imagine, it felt like the world was ending. Now we know a little bit better.
Do you remember when
But if you get scared, let us know.
I will.
Okay.
Do you remember when we were a kid, like they would have us cut a hole in a piece of paper and then another hole in a piece of paper, and if you kind of like squirrely lined them up, you could look at it?
Yeah.
I'm just going to do that. It'll be cheaper.
Okay, that'll be good. A couple more space things real quick. This headline caught my eye. Fastest growing black hole is eating a sun per day.
Ooh.
There's a 17 million solar mass black hole in the distant universe.
It's not in our universe?
No.
Oh, we're fine then. Our sun's cool.
Just if you see this, tell your friends, right? This is how we get smarter. Did you hear the fastest growing black hole is eating a whole sun per day? And one more. This is under the Sleep Tight Tonight files, I guess. India is launching the first private sector spy satellite.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong? And guess who's launching it?
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
I didn't. It was a total guess.
If there's
That was
money
a
to
total
be
guess.
made.
Yes.
How much money do you think the average launch of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, which is going to take this thing up there, how much do you think they're paying for that?
Ooh.
I have no answer. I mean, it costs like $42 to fill my car with gas.
Sure.
10 million?
Okay.
$25 million.
$67 million.
Oh.
So if we can get our hands on
Somebody's not
$67
negotiating right.
Buy in bulk. Come on,
Yeah,
India.
maybe if we can scrap together $50 million, Elon will let us send something up to space.
Well, Kim just told us yesterday about a satellite the size of a coffee cup. It can't be that expensive.
It is pretty expensive. There was a conversation between a son and a father.
Was there?
And the little boy looks at his daddy and he says, Daddy, you're so smart. Can you tell me what a solar eclipse is? And the daddy looks and he says, No, son.
Unfortunately, I like that joke.
I liked it.
Yeah,
a
it's
one.
good.
I'm not going to dog you for that one.
All right. Okay. I have news about a drone
Right.
that is really frightening.
Oh,
And it's something that you would think like only the military would have. But then and you're like, but when like your next door neighbor could buy this,
Really?
it's going to be crazy.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
All right, it's Kim Komando today. We love that you're here with us, and we love to get your comments. And we always take comments during the live feed of the show. And afterwards, you can always send us your comments to podcast@komando.com. But that's not as fun as leaving the comments when we're actually doing the show, because then we get to give every one of you some
Kudos.
fame.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, your 15 seconds.
And then you could go to somebody and say, hey, I was on Kim Komando today.
That's a good excuse to share the podcast. Listen to the last segment.
That is
because
such a good
they
idea.
read my comment.
Yes, that would be even
Love
more
that.
amazing. All right, so Harry Laser, he says, are you guys going to talk about the outage or not? I need a work excuse.
We did talk about it. We inaccurately
missed it.
talked about
Yeah.
it.
We did. We absolutely did.
Tell your boss 60 million people
Up
have
to.
been affected.
Up
Oh my
to.
God, 60 million. I know. I'm like, where did you get that number
From the break room. Everybody was talking about it in the break room at iHeart, and that was the number that was thrown out.
It was probably the guy who thought it was an attack.
Jim Hunter says AT&T outage is the tip of the iceberg from the EMP threat as outlined in the book 1 Second Later by William R. Fortune. I don't know about that. I haven't read the book, but
But do you think it was a tech?
I think so.
If you got to put
You
a
really do?
percentage on it,
I would say
10% chance, 15% chance.
40.
That's really high.
That's high.
That's way higher than I thought.
Yeah.
She thinks it is.
I think it was like a little test.
Is
Little
it
tester.
because they're not talking about it? Because they're not telling us the
Well,
why?
because they're saying we were trying to update SIM cards or whatever. I'm like, oh, please.
They've
And
done
then-
so many sim updates, and that's never happened.
The lame excuses is what's pointing you in the direction
Yes.
of an attack. Okay.
Yes. Tim says, I agree with Tim. When he says if AT&T was hacked, they're not going to disclose it for a month or two.
No, because their stock price would just go through the bottom, through the basement.
Wasn't there just a new FTC ruling that they have to disclose that quickly?
Yeah.
I thought there was.
Definition of quickly?
No, actually quickly.
Like-
but no, no,
Almost quickly.
Almost.
a little faster.
All right. I'm not going to make fun of Gwen Graham, but Gwen, I mean, we deserve more.
What Gwen
And
give us?
I expect more of you.
What did she do?
She came on the podcast a little late.
Gwen.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe it was an emergency. Maybe her cell phone was down.
Unacceptable.
She says she has Mint. Should I be concerned about the power outage?
Nah, you're good.
No.
Well, they weren't listed.
No. Liz
Ryan
Dotson.
Reynolds would never let that happen to anyone.
That guy is brilliant.
He is.
100%.
I love
So
his soccer
handsome.
team, too.
We have a lot of people who say that it was out. Liz Dotson, Alaska, has an AT&T outage today.
Okay.
Lou Mello says, I think Andrew's shoes are okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Lose on your team.
Seriously.
Lou said, I wouldn't wear the color, but they looked comfy.
Here's the thing with the color. It was the cheapest. And I was just trying them. It was a new product to try. I went back 2 days later. I bought a white and gray pair, and they're great.
Okay,
I've
let
only
me-
ever seen the red.
Okay, here's my problem with those shoes. Okay,
Oh, boy.
there's no structure to these shoes. Okay, these are shoes that men would wear because they don't want to bend over and tie their shoes.
First of all, the entire generation behind me all wears slides. And it's okay. Every single
Slides.
35 and younger wears slides, okay? I've
got
just
slides.
found the suburban father version of the slides.
That is a very suburban father shoe. I'll give you that.
Absolutely. It's
But
not
look at
like I'm wearing a Croc.
Look at the structure on these.
Another thing,
Yes.
you women have been wearing slides for ever.
You women.
Since the founding
fathers.
We don't wear slides. We wear heels. Or
Don't-
we wear attractive shoes.
That is a slide-on shoe right there. There's no lace. She
I
doesn't have to
slid my
bend
foot
over.
into the shoe. That's
You didn't have
true.
to bend over,
But
right?
This is a nice, genuine leather shoe.
This is a nice, probably
a nice heel.
cotton shoe.
They're ugly. They are ugly, ugly, ugly.
I think they're made of recycled bottles, maybe.
They look like it.
I think you want to recycle them again.
I actually think they're okay.
Hassan Isaiah says, it happened in 2000. I remember Allie was so cool talking about the eclipse. It's time to ride said, already got my eclipse glasses.
Yay!
Nice. And Hassan says, nice tattoos, Allie.
Oh, thank you so much.
Always glowing Kim Commando.
Oh, gorgeous.
Don't know why you have Andrew.
Wonder why this comment got right on there.
Hassan would not say that.
He didn't say that.
Of course he did.
He didn't. All right. And he says, great show. Thank you. We love to get your comments. Love, love, love them. All right. So here's the deal. It's called the Skydio X10.
All right. This terrifying drone.
Yeah, it really is. It can hit speeds of 45 miles per hour.
That's fast.
Very fast.
Fits in a car trunk. Camera has a 65 times zoom. Okay. Capable of reading a license plate from a football field away.
That's crazy, man.
Okay. Also comes with infrared sensors to track you in the dark. Okay. So you'd think like this would be something like the military would have.
Right. There's no real estate agent out there who's like, well, I need to take pictures of your house infrared from 400 football fields away.
Albedo Space, they're based in Denver. They're the manufacturers of these also very low Earth orbiting satellites that can read the license plates on the cars. And its mission statement is to provide commercial and defense customers, I'm reading this, to provide commercial and defense customers with on-demand, high-frequency coverage.
I hate this.
Could you say that you have a bunch of drones like flying around a construction site for security, and if it was needed?
Oh, please, Andrew.
I'm trying.
A commercial customer can be a town, to an individual, construction company, anybody who wants to pay.
Sure.
Okay. But now suddenly what's going on in your backyard, or you're going for a run, somebody wants to know what kind of shoes you're wearing. They can
he's not running in the Hey Dudes.
No.
That you
I'm
can,
not running in anything.
that you can, there is that.
Redo it, but with me.
There is that. But now you can buy this drone.
How much is it? I mean, how realistic is it that my neighbor could have this?
It's $15,000.
Okay, that's really expensive. Yeah, that's super expensive.
But realistic if your neighbor is really into tracking you.
Or is a business owner and can
Yes.
write off this stinking drone if they want to. I've actually had this argument, and I'm interested to get your guys' opinions, because I don't think you have privacy in your backyard. It's just my opinion.
Okay.
And I've fought with multiple people on air and off about this. I don't think you have, especially in a world where we live in subdivisions that our houses are crammed together and they're 2 stories, you have no privacy in your backyard.
I was in my pool
Right?
in a bikini, and I was looking up, and I was like, what is that sound? So what did I do?
Barry was shaving in the shallow end? No. Oh.
That I actually got out of the pool, and I went, you're going to get my shot.
Yeah. Get my good side.
I love that you always pose. That's amazing.
It was like,
I'm going to borrow that.
and it's, because, what, if you can pose, you can.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
like last night I was getting out of the shower. It was actually very sweet.
You heard that same noise when you were
No.
in the shower?
But it was Barry.
He was definitely shaving.
No, so Barry comes into my bathroom because we have separate bathrooms. Totally love this in my life. And so I'm getting in the shower, and he looks at me and he goes, you all look amazing.
That's lovely.
And I'm like, what?
But a neighbor's spying on you, and you're popping out your hip and giving your good side.
No, it was sweet because he said, just, your figure looks the same.
Aw.
As it
That is so
has. I thought
sweet.
that was very nice.
He was just trying to get some.
No.
That's the end of that interaction. No.
No. But speaking about drones, we had a gal on the show probably about 6 months ago. And she was in, Rhode Island?
I think so.
I think she was in Rhode Island. And she came on the show to tell me the whole story, that she was getting ready for work. She worked overnights. And about 11 o'clock at night is when she would start, taking a shower because she had to be there at midnight, worked midnight to 8. And then she heard the sound of a drone outside her window. And she's like, gosh, what is that? So she opens the window and she goes down the kitchen and the thing flies away. And it happens a few times. And then she follows the drone to figure out where it could be. She files a police report. Anyway, it turns out that the gentleman, very loosely, I say that, who owned the drone was like a block and a half away. And she has a little daughter, about 6 years old, who would she'd put in the play pool in the backyard with bottoms but no tops. Okay. And then they figure out that the guy's a pedophile.
God.
Okay.
Horrifying.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like that, if they get busted, they have to be 5,000 feet away from a school. Well, it doesn't matter if you have a drone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what about your privacy in your backyard?
Yeah. What about privacy with that?
You don't have it. You have to understand when you go outside and you put your child in a pool, someone can see you. There is no privacy.
Okay. Let's say me and you are neighbors. Mm-hmm. We have a fence between us. I'm looking over the fence all the time in your backyard. Is that okay?
It's not that. It's not that it's okay. It's not that it's acceptable. It's you have to hold the mindset that you do not have that privacy.
Okay, I agree with you.
Just as if you have curtains on your front window, the
Yeah.
minute you open them, you no longer have that privacy. I'm not saying people should do it. I'm not saying you should sit on your roof and spy on your neighbors. I'm just saying you have to have the mindset you do not have privacy anywhere now. I think that's extended from your backyard to everywhere.
I agree.
There
Unfortunately.
is that.
Yeah.
But I will give an exception. I wasn't there, but Ian was with a couple of his friends. And one of his friends is really he's going to be like a Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
I mean, this kid is so talented. He is. I mean, and I've known him since he was probably, 10 or 11. And they'd be making movies in grammar school and stuff.
Aw.
And I mean, he would actually come over dressed. And one time I'll never forget, he came over to the house and he had all of his camera gear and everything. I mean, professional gear and mics and everything. And he was dressed in a suit. And I'm so I don't want to give his name because his parents are pretty famous. And I said, I said, oh, you're really dressed up today. Do you have a part in the movie? And he's like, Miss Commando, whenever Alfred Hitchcock would appear on the set.
That's adorable.
That's so
So
cute.
adorable.
Love him.
So adorable. So he brings his drone and his stuff out to California. And so the two of them go up in Bel Air, Ian and his buddy, and they have his drone and they're going to go over Walt Disney's house.
Ah.
Okay, because they want to see what it looks like over. And then not far from that is Jeff Bezos' compound. So they're thinking they're going to get their drone over to take a look at it. As soon as the drone goes up, at either home, it goes up, and then all of a sudden you heard security come, and then they had some type of jammer that basically the drone just went.
Wow.
Did it fall down outside or inside?
Outside the wall.
Okay, good.
Outside the wall.
He didn't lose his drone. That's
No, not at all. So there is that technology.
Wow.
Yeah. If you got the money, you can have privacy in your backyard.
I wonder when that kind of stuff, will this become big enough of a problem for regular people that will be, consumer tech that's not too expensive?
Like a drone-free HOA where you move into a neighborhood that
Oh
just
my
has
gosh.
the jammers on every street light.
That's a good idea.
That is
you.
a good idea.
I'm a pretty smart guy sometimes.
With the shoes.
I don't know.
I said sometimes. Calm down.
When do the new shoes come?
Monday.
Excellent. Can't wait.
You should wear a different pair every day.
I got excited when she asked me that question that she was actually interested. Then I saw her face. She's not.
All right. So we had a great time. I think we passed along a whole bunch of wonderful tips.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And I was brilliant as always.
Always.
And gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, Al.
You're welcome. I'm sucking up today.
It always helps when it's Kim Commando's on the building.
No, I'd say it either way.
So do we have any takeaways for people today?
From the show today?
Yeah, what do you think?
You have no privacy.
Okay.
AI is not going to kill you if you can't figure out there was no black women that were the founding fathers.
Women should have been the founding fathers.
Yes, that's an
Correct.
absolute
If you're
big
going to look at
takeaway.
the eclipse, please use the glasses.
60 million people were affected by the AT&T
You need to
phone.
stop saying that. 73,000 people.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? Maybe we should have a rehearsal from time to time.
Yeah, this was a good one. Let's try again.
All right. Hey, thanks for being here, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can. In the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.